Okay, so there is a little bit of a trend on YouTube, fragrance YouTube at least at the moment, for videos talking about fragrances for life. There are a lot of top 10 fragrances for life, and in all honesty, I haven't watched any of them, but I got to thinking about if I were to do a fragrance for life video, it would need to make a little bit of sense to me. Now, I can't just repeat my top 10 favorite perfume list for this, because there are perfumes in that list, and I'll link the video. There are perfumes in that list which are either could be discontinued or just really difficult to get, and in one way or another, I've been fortunate enough to own the bottle. So yes, they're my favorite perfumes, but I'm a realist and I know that there are going to be some of my all-time favorite perfumes that I simply can't get anymore. Like off the top of my head, I'm thinking of something like Absolu pour le Soir by Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and even something like my wonderful bottle of original Dior Au Noir. Even though technically you can still buy Au Noir, and it is one of my favorite perfumes, I haven't included it in this list because A, it's no longer what it used to be, i.e. the green juice, and I think it does smell slightly different in its current formulation. And also, up until more recently, that there are certain bottles that are things like, they're Paris exclusives or they're very limited edition. So my simple criteria for fragrances for life for me in this particular video is that A, I have to love them. Obviously, they're in my wardrobe, so I love them. Okay, let's just take that for granted. And the main criteria is that I should be able to buy these relatively easily, and they're still available, and there would be no hurdles for me to acquire a bottle of these perfumes, given that they're all available, especially for me here in Australia. They're all available for me to order and purchase at the moment. Now, that might change in the future, but I've got 11 fragrances here that I would keep for life, provided that all things going well, they never get discontinued. Okay, so this is not going to be in any particular order. It's pretty random. I will just pull them out of my box and show you. First one is 34 Saint-Germain Boulevard. Sorry, I can't speak tonight. From Diptyque. This is my first bottle of Diptyque. Currently, it's my only bottle of Diptyque. Yeah, it is. And I've always loved it. It's one of the bottles I've had in my collection the longest. And as long as Diptyque keep making it, I will keep purchasing it. There was no way to avoid putting this perfume on the list. 1740 by Histoire de Parfum, one of my first niche loves in perfume, and as close to a signature scent as it can get for me. This one here is probably particularly over the last 2.5 years, probably been one of my most warm perfumes and also one of my favorites. I came to this one late, but as long as Hermès keep making Eau d'Hermès, I'm going to keep buying it. Now, this would be a tragedy if I ever could not get this, because given it's been around since the mid-1960s in various forms, but always good. That's Abbey Rouge, Eau de Toilette in particular. I haven't tried the Eau de Parfum of Abbey Rouge. I know from what I read there are some differences, but I just love this perfume, and long may it rule. This is my Forever Fougère. This is Sartorial by Penhaligon's. I can't imagine ever being without this perfume. This is probably the newest perfume that I've acquired that I'm mentioning on this list. I only bought this bottle at the beginning of this year, and thankfully, it's not one of the ones that this particular house has discontinued and still seemingly popular. They've even released flankers of it. And this is actually Epic Woman by Amouage. And given that it is the only perfume of its type, I guess, in this group of perfumes, I mean, I think the perfumes I've chosen are also quite different to each other. I don't feel like I've got any redundancy in this list, but seriously, this is amongst the best roses and the best incense perfumes that I own. And speaking of rose and sandalwood and Chanel, well, I wasn't speaking about Chanel, but it's a good segue into saying that as long as Chanel keep making Egoist, of course, I'm going to own it. It is just, as I mentioned in an earlier video, it's my most worn for this year, for 2023. And I mean, it's a Chanel masculine staple by now. Definitely, I can easily say when it comes to, choosing Chanel Egoist over Chanel Antaeus, for instance, I'm going to pick Egoist to choose for life. And Chanel's main competitor back in the late 80s, early 90s, and come out a little bit before Egoist did in 1988 from Christian Dior, Fahrenheit, Forever perfume as well. This just holds a lot of fantastic scent associations for me, and I apart from loving it, it has really sentimental connections to me, this perfume, and Fahrenheit is a classic. Another one from Dior. So I've got two Diors in this list, and I don't think I've doubled up on other houses from what I can tell. So Dior get two Forever perfumes, and this might be controversial. As much as I love Eau Sauvage Eau de Toilette, my first love from Dior was Eau Sauvage Parfum. I used to own the 2012 version with the black label, and this is a 2017 facelift, reformulation. It is a reformulation. It smells slightly different, although it's kept a lot of the same spirit. And in many ways, it's grown so much on me that I actually eventually sold my bottle of the 2012 version and kept this one. I find it more versatile, and I think it smells as good as the 2012 version. And please, Dior, do not discontinue this or mess with the formula. Okay, so these last two might probably surprise people watching my channel, but if you've seen me talk about these perfumes, it may not be a surprise. The first one is from Olfactive Studio. It is Woody Mood. I think I'm not going to call it underrated, because I think the people who know this perfume know how good it is. I think it's definitely under-discussed, especially in terms of Bertrand Duchefort's body of work. I think this is one of his later classics, if you ask me. It came out in 2017. Previously, he'd done all that amazing stuff, in particular for L'Artisan Parfumeur, and I'm not sure really too much about what he's worked on in recent years, but 2017, Woody Mood, and the best of Olfactive Studio from what I have smelled. The last perfume on this list is on this list for the main reason that It is my go-to comfort scent. Now, I hear this term comfort scent used a lot when used to talk about people's perfumes. And obviously, comfort means different things to different people. To me, when I wear Eau de Bois by L'Occitane, I associate it as a comfort scent. It's easy to go into these stereotypes and tropes about vanilla-based fragrances making you feel cozy. And I guess there's some sort of deep-seated psychological connection with that. All I do know is the word comfort implies me feeling safe, content, not worried about anything, at peace. And every time I spray Eau de Bois on, the scent epitomizes all those feelings for me. So I just cannot imagine not being able to smell of Eau de Bois when I wanted to, when I needed to. And those are my 11 fragrances for life. I am begging all the brands that produce these perfumes to please keep producing them. I will keep buying them. And, thankfully, some of these I have plenty of for a while. And I imagine in the next couple of years or year, I'll be having to replace one or two of them. So they're the ones I'll keep buying. Like I said, this is my criteria. This whole concept for the video Fragrances for Life, you can interpret it however you want. And I won't tag anyone in particular, but I would love to see my friends who have YouTube channels also do something similar to what I've done. It doesn't have to be top 10. It could be 4, 5, 6, or 11 like me. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you very soon. See you later. Bye.